What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. I apologize for the extremely late video. It is 9:33 right now. Went to dinner at Outback, then we went to Barnes & Noble, then I had a cappuccino, so I'm wide awake now. So today's video is a viewer comment / question, and that question is, how come I always go for the TRD parts over other aftermarket company parts? Stay tuned. Alright, so there's a few reasons I pick TRD nowadays over other aftermarket parts. First, there's something you guys need to know that you might not know. My '09 Tundra, which was my second Tundra, I did massive amounts of work to. We had a lift on it, we had wheels, mud tires, custom exhaust, intake. There was a lot of stuff done to it. And in that time, back in '09, I used nothing but aftermarket parts. I actually didn't use any TRD parts at all. Let's see if I can remember everything I had on the truck. It was a rough country leveling kit. It was 33-inch Toyo mud terrain tires, Rockstar XD wheels. I did a custom dual exhaust with 2 Flowmaster 40 single shot mufflers, true dual all the way back out the directly out the back, not curled behind the wheels like the TRD exhaust. 3-inch piping all the way, a Volant cold air intake. There was a Weston bull bar on the front. I think that was it. It wasn't like an insane build like you see in SEMA, but you know, there was a lot done to it, and I used to mud with it. It was crazy. That was an epic Tundra. For you guys that have had a Tundra a long time and have been, you know, in the Tundra community for a while, you might remember a thing called Tundra Network, which was on tundraheadquarters.com. I had a profile up on there for my '09. So when that went under, I lost all my pictures, and then all the pictures I saved of the '09 were on my computer that was destroyed in Superstorm Sandy. So I think I have one lying around, like an actual old school, like Polaroid style picture of the truck. So I'll try to rustle that thing up and get it. It was a TRD SR5 double cab, 5.7 liter, white. Nice truck, and you know, the wheels were black. I was doing the same kind of thing I'm doing now, just not as aggressive with blacking everything out. But anyway, I don't want to get too far off topic. The reason I told you all that is because back then, I was all about using different companies and finding what I like and finding my groove. And that stemmed to my next vehicle, which was a Jeep Wrangler. I had 2 Jeep Wranglers after the '09 Tundra, and I used, you know, K&N. I don't even remember half the stuff I used on the Wranglers. But I was still using, at that point, because it's a Jeep, Mopar. I wasn't using any Mopar parts. I was always using aftermarket. The story really gets interesting when I got to my 2014 Tundra. And it came down to when I wanted to do a dual exhaust. And I wanted to do a cold air intake, which are usually the first 2 things I do on my vehicles. And this was going to be the first time I was going to use TRD parts. So, you know, I looked online, I looked at the intakes. It came down to another Volant like I had in the '09. It came down to the K&N and the TRD. I figured this time I would go with the TRD. And that's kind of when, you know, I guess my eyes opened up. We got the TRD intake. That was the first thing I put on. The install took me 15 minutes. Detailed instructions, part made for the truck, easy to put on, no trimming, no adjustments. A simple take off the old intake, put on the new intake. Easy as pie. Performance was great. Reliability, backed by the maker. Can't beat it. Dual exhaust. Take the old exhaust off, put the new exhaust on. Everything done deal. No adjustments, no cutting, no trimming. I don't have a problem with aftermarket parts as far as other companies. It's just these parts on other companies are usually made for multiple vehicles versus the TRD part being made for the Tundra. And that is the way I think going forward. As you know, I'm a little bit older. I don't want the loudest exhaust in the world. You know, things like that. I still like a bunch of aftermarket companies. I mean, I use Husky liners. We got the X-Dang cover in there, the NFAB steps. All of those things I could get from Toyota, but I get from Truck Hero because Truck Hero has a superior part. The NFAB steps are the best steps you can buy, in my opinion. The X-Dang Trifecta 2.0. The Trifecta is the best trifold softcover you can get and has been for years. Husky liners, you guys told me about Husky liners, and I'm never looking back because they are by far the best. So it's not I'm anti everything TRD. It's just because the TRD, there's a big peace of mind in it. Peace of mind is a big thing to me. So the question being, why do I always pick TRD over aftermarket parts? I live the aftermarket parts life. And now I'm just comfortable and happy in TRD. Reliability, peace of mind, you pay a little more for it, but the part gives back to you by never having a problem. I'm not saying I'll never use an aftermarket part again. I'm just saying I prefer TRD. I mean, I did just buy a Magnuson supercharger. That's an aftermarket part, right? It's the most expensive aftermarket part I ever bought in my life. So to answer your question, I'm not against anything. There are some great aftermarket companies out there. We talk about K&N, Borla, makes great exhaust systems, MagnaFlow, Flowmaster. We could sit here forever and talk about that. But again, it comes down to what you want to do. Me, at this point, especially doing the Platinum Pro build, I obviously wanted to make it as close to a Toyota truck as possible. And what I mean by that is the aftermarket parts that went on, all TRD. The only thing I screwed up on is I didn't want to pay $500+ per wheel to get the TRD Pro wheels, but I got the Ultra wheels, and I love them. Ultra wheels, they're the Phantoms. People ask me all the time. The model is the Phantoms, but they're aftermarket. You see what I'm saying? So it's not always just TRD. It's just because I've had such a good run with the TRD intake and the TRD dual exhaust. It is my third TRD intake and my third TRD dual exhaust. No issues, no problems. Quick and easy install, great performance, good sound, blah, 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 blah. You guys get the deal by now. So it really comes down to what you want to do. There's people out there that want to go and, you know, like I said, loudest exhaust in the world. Go crazy. Do you. That's what this channel's about. It's a community of people doing different things. It's a community of people seeing what I do and telling me, I like what you did. Here's what I would have done. And that sparks conversation between us all, and that's what it's all about. That's it. That's all I got. Can you tell I had cappuccino? Oof, I'm wired. I should make like 6 more videos for the rest of the week right now. But anyway, I apologize for it being so late. But thank you for watching. Please comment below and tell me what you think about aftermarket parts. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Or you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at TundraDude34. You guys have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow.